Hey guys, so I wanted to film this video. I don't have a ton of time. I'm very annoyed right now because Instagram is messing me up. It won't let me tag people and it's driving me crazy. But not only that, basically it took something down of mine. So apparently I posted a poll yesterday or something. It had to have been yesterday because I haven't posted anything today. And I feel like Instagram at me. Wait. I think someone reported me on Instagram. That makes. Ugh. I'm very confused because basically Instagram. Okay, so I just went on Instagram to check my schedule for today to make sure I had the right time for dance. And then when I went and clicked on, it said, and we got a report, or so we had to take something down, a poll that you posted, and it showed me which one, and it won't let me read it, so I couldn't really tell. Went up against guidelines or something, and clicked to read guidelines. So I clicked to read guidelines again, and it's messing me because I don't think it went up against guidelines. I don't know. I think it's very annoying, and I'm also very annoyed because my first thought was I love posting squad stuff, but the thing is that I can't lately, and it's really annoying because Instagram won't let me tag people, and if I post something squad related, I really, really want them to see it, or at least be tagged in it, at least be tagged in it, because then it means chances of them seeing it. And so I basically haven't posted squad stuff in a couple of days, and it's driving me crazy, and it's really upsetting, and it's really annoying. And it's really annoying, and I'm not a fan of it. And I'm thinking Instagram now hates me, and I don't know why, because I haven't really posted anything. I haven't posted anything that shouldn't be on Instagram. Literally, I never post anything bad or inappropriate. It's always, I would say the thing that, I posted that is, the most, inappropriate, which is not inappropriate at all, was yesterday, and it was a picture or me wearing my squad crop top. And it was a crop top, and it wasn't it was showing off anything. It was perfectly fine, perfectly appropriate. It didn't get taken down. Nobody seemed to have concerns about it. It's just a cute squad crop top. So yeah, I'm very, very, very annoyed about it, and it's kind of bugging me. And that's okay. It's generally bugging me. But I wanted to make this video and explain why I am wearing this again, because there is kind of a reason. And I'm gonna kind of be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. But I'm also gonna not fully say stuff. Here, I don't know what's gonna happen in this video. I just know that I'm gonna try to be real with you as much as I can. And because there might be something that is a little bit hard for me to explain, and I'm gonna try my best, but I can only do so much. So hopefully you will kind of understand it, and hopefully you like it. I don't know. No, I don't want you to like it, in the sense that, because this is something that's not the greatest. And, I don't want you to be, happy for me that I lost my crush. No. But, you'll enjoy watching the video enough and enjoy that side. And I don't have a ton of time to film this because I have dance soon. And I want to eat. And I want to finish my soda before dance. So I'm just going to get straight into it. So, over 2 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago, 2 years and a couple of months ago, I saw my crush the day before Valentine's Day 2019, not knowing it was going to be the last time. The last time for a really long time. Don't know how long. Still don't know how long. That day just felt magical and it felt amazing, and I'm gonna kind of fully give details as much as I can. That day was magical and I kind of felt like a queen. The thing is that I was going to music class for the fun of it, kind of a fun little, but mostly to see my crush. I would not have gone back if it weren't for my crush. And that kind of leads to another story that I'm going to kind of run through, because I'm not going to go full thing because I don't have the time to go full thing, but I'm going to give you the idea and kind of run through. So what happened with music class, I started music class when it started, actually. So it started, and when I was I want to say 6. Yeah, I think I was 6. It was either I end up by beginning of 6 or 6. I don't fully remember. I just know it was around that time. Music class started. We went to this place where it is. And there's a lot of these places, autism centers. I think there's a lot of them. We went one day and then we found out about music class and art class. As we came home, we talked it over with my mom because my dad had took me. And then they decided to sign me up. And in that moment, I was not sure about it. Because not sure about it in the sense that I'm so used to at the time, I was mostly used to my parents being there for everything, and to even have the thought of going into a room for an hour with other kids, people that I didn't know, but we could trust, obviously, because they had to pass a certain amount of standards and stuff. In order to work there and stuff, I think, or I hope so. Just basic things, and then so that was a thing, and then I want to say I was almost 7. So it wasn't like wait, let me do math. I think I was almost 7. It was either I was almost 7 or wait, a little bit after. I want to say a little bit after I was 7. And I know, oh, it's July 6th. That's all I know. No, like, so I think I was around 7, or I was like a little bit after 7. I can't fully remember. I feel like it was a little bit after 7. Yeah. My crush started coming. So, like, I walked in, and that week was a lot for me because it was a lot for me. Because, first up, like, I had been going there for over a year at this point, but also on top of it, we had my crush, which was a new student, and then we had a new assistant, and both, like, it was kind of a lot. Then one thing led to another. Or so anyways, like, I walked in, went through the week kind of like wanting it over, but also at the same time being like something just seemed different, but I mostly wanted it over. And that kind of was the system for like the first 3 weeks. And then I fell in love with my crush week 3. Yeah, I usually say 3 is an unlucky number, but in that case it was 3 was, I guess, unlucky, but also kind of lucky, if that makes sense. Like, in the sense that, like, it was lucky for so long, but then that lucky, like, thing ended up hurting me, if that makes sense. Because then I lost my crush and stuff. So, that happened, but anyways, I continued going all of that, like, fast forward a little bit. I think I was 10, almost 11 or something. And I can't fully remember exactly. But, like, it got to the point where music class was starting to just get, like, not my favorite thing anymore. Like, it wasn't, like, annoying or anything. It was just kind of, like, the thing that, like, I felt like it's great for little kids, but I also felt like for me it was not what I wanted anymore, and that was fine. Like, just so you know, my parents never forced me to go. The only time they forced me to go was the first time, and if I wanted to leave, they were gonna let me leave. Like, nobody forced me to go. It was like my choice to go week after week after week. And they were fine with that. Like, whatever I chose was fine. Something kind of happened, let me get into it. And we had a new assistant, a guy assistant. And fun fact about me personally, because there's a lot of girls in my family. Like, that's just true. Like, a lot of girls. There are a good amount of guys in my family. But since I kind of mostly, I feel like mostly grew up around girls. Like, I mostly grew up around girls. And so, for me it was like always more of like it, like, so for me I always been a little iffy around new people, obviously, but especially guys and boys, except for my crush. I was like, with my crush, it was kind of like, at first I kind of just didn't want to be around him, but then after, like, a little bit after I kind of got a little more used to him, got to know a little more about him, got to learn that he's a little more safe, and isn't gonna like hurt me or anything, then I was cool with him. It was getting to that point. So like, it kind of just got to a point where I wanted to quit music class. It was like, I almost did, and I literally said the week after week, because every week was a struggle, because every week my dad is like, so if you want to quit, why don't we quit? And I'm like, because I can't leave my crush behind. Like, I knew deep down in my heart there was no way, and why I couldn't walk out on my crush, because I knew if I walked out on him, I would probably never gonna see him again. And I couldn't have that happen. Like, and that made the situation so much worse. And there was this one day that the guy assistant was taking over and was running it this one week. And because our main teacher was out on vacation, which I was always very cool with her. We get there. My dad goes in because we don't see her car anywhere. So my dad goes in, comes out, and is like, here's the deal. And I'm like, oh no. Because whenever he says that, something bad comes after that. That never means anything good. Then, one thing led to another. And so, he's like, so we have the choice. We can either go in or we can leave. And I'm like, sitting there thinking, getting about to say, let's just leave. And then all of a sudden, my crush shows up, goes in, and I'm like, I was getting ready to say leave, but now I'm like, I don't know. And then we basically waited for 45 minutes of me just making the decision. I'm like, do we stay? Do we go? And it was tearing me apart, like, to the point where I was almost in tears, because I'm like, I want to go in for my crush. I want to go and hang out with him and tell him, but it's too much for me, and that makes sense. Yeah. And then we got home. Well, what happened was finally after 45 minutes. And my dad's like, why don't we go home and, like, play a board game or something, and we'll come back next week if you want. And you two can hang out then. So I'm like, okay. So I get up. So I, like, basically at this point I was sitting in, like, the front seat, I think, or something, which, don't worry, the car wasn't going or anything. It was on, but that was because we had it on because it was kind of like a little bit of a colder day, and we had the heat on, but, like, we weren't going anywhere, so I, like, was sitting in the front seat for, like, a few minutes. Then I moved to the back seat, and it was back and forth, and then finally, I'm like, okay, let's just go. We get home, and at this point, I'm almost in tears. I destroyed myself. That was a nightmare, and all of a sudden, we get home, and then I'm like, the guy was doing it, so we didn't, like, I kind of explained what happened to my mom, and she's like, I was the car on? And my dad's like, well, I had it on for some of it, then I turned it off, and then it got cold, so I turned it back on, and my mom's like, you just wasted a bunch of, like, gas money and all of the, like, and start going off on me a little bit, but in a kind of nice way. And then my dad's like, you may not want to do that to her. And my mom's like, why? And he's like, I can't say. Or something like, at that point, I don't fully know if that was exactly what my dad said, but I know he said something similar. And I literally just ran into my bedroom. Because at that point, I was like, I needed a breather. I needed to breathe. because I was putting so much on myself that I actually just needed to breathe. So I did. I came in my bedroom and I breathed, and then I went back the next week. And then somewhere in the process, as I found out we were moving in with my sister and stuff, then like, I basically then went and saw my crush, like, again, and then that day, like, was really hard because I'm like, at the point I kind of made the decision of staying, but then I'm like, it's a lot, and then we get in there this one day, and we find out that the guy assistant went back to college, and I'm like, yes, it worked out for me because it was kind of becoming too much. Now the thing was, I had done music class with him there, but every time I was a little more like shaky and like I just wasn't the most comfortable. But yeah, there was a lot there, so I almost quit music class. But the thing was, losing my crush, which kind of, I want to explain that story was that I didn't know it was going to be like the last time I saw him. Something seemed off that day. It wasn't just because me and my dad got in the car and I almost told him, but my plan was, I had just got a thing of Valentine's Day cards that was going to be like my Valentine's Day gift to people, or like my family, and I made one for my crush. So what I did was I like made it all cute, like with some stickers, and then I put my mom's phone number on it. And then me being me, I didn't think smart and specify it was my mom's phone number. Yeah, that day he ended up getting a Shopkins Valentine's Day card with the Shopkins pencil. No, at least he'll have a pencil for school or something. And so that was a thing. So, yeah. So, it's the thing. But the next day, I was a wreck. Because the next day was Valentine's Day. I'm clenched onto the phone. My mom's starting to wonder what's up. Because she knew I gave a friend a phone number, not knowing who that friend was. Like, it was a mess. But losing my crush was really hard. And personally, was something that I feel like out of everything I ever been through, which I'm not bringing my personal life up to it, I learned a lot from it. But I have to say, and even to this day, if you ask me what is the worst thing I ever been through, I will say losing my crush. Now, at first, I just kind of, when music class was done and I just kind of was sad and I just let it take over. And then I tried to talk to Bella sometimes and stuff. And then there was 1 week, one week was a nightmare. Because I thought I lost Bella. Go watch some of my past videos. I explained what had happened and how it was basically over a prank or something. It was a prank. But it kind of wasn't even a thing. And I was happy that wasn't a thing, but I also wasn't because it meant I was being really hard on myself over nothing. So yeah. And that week I literally just cried. I'm not joking, that week it was 6 days. So not even a full week, almost a full week. and twice I just cried. Like, I just full blown, and I don't silent cry. Like, I'm the type where I grew up, and if I was sad about something, or if I was gonna cry about something, it was a full blown fit, basically. Not like a silent, like, cry. What I mean by that is it was never just tears, it was always like me throwing a fit. And then, so yeah, that was the thing. Now, and that was like the first time. There was a couple of times when it came close. So, yeah, like, it's never been like silent. And I think I used that, and it was great because I kind of, for those 6 days, something that, like, my parents fully understood and stuff, like, I kind of had an excuse, if that makes sense. And so, like, for 6 days straight, if I randomly started crying, like, my parents would just kind of know and stuff. But it was, like, a process. But let me turn that off. But anyways, to end this, I basically then went through a phase that you guys know where I tried to at Nort tried to let the universe do its thing, and that just kind of wasn't working anymore because I realized like this necklace has gotten me through a lot. Like it kind of is that reminder, like whenever, like even when I got my tooth pulled, which for me was a little bit scary, but not really scary, if that makes. It was like I didn't know what to expect, and so the not knowing what to expect was the scary part. But then once I like got it done, it was like not a big deal anymore, and by the next day I was good. The reason I say the next day was because my mouth was pretty much numb for most of the day, and then around bedtime it like started to not be numb anymore, but it was fine. And I definitely drooled all over myself that day because what happened was because I didn't like the gauze. Yeah. But that can be it for this video. Peace out.